Tepua hio hio means the flowers that dance with the wind. The group seeks to honor and spread the knowledge of Polynesian culture embodying the aloha spirit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Can we just start off with another big round of applause for our incredible performers tonight? Again, that was the Tepua hio hio Polynesian dancers and Mark H. Taiko drummers. So incredible. I have to tell you, it is an absolute honor and pleasure to be with you tonight to serve as your MC this evening for the ceremonial swearing in for CAPAC and the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander members of the 119th Congress. We begin tonight's ceremony with the CAPAC members' processional. Please welcome to the stage Congressman Ted Lieu. Congresswoman Grace Meng. Congressman Mark Takano. Congresswoman Jill Takuda. Congressman Ami Bera. Congresswoman and CAPAC Chair Emerita Judy Chu. Congressman Ed Case. Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal. Congressman Jimmy Panetta. Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland. Congressman Daniel Goldman. Congresswoman Yasamin Ansari. Congressman Dave Min. Congressman Derek Tran. Congressman Bobby Scott. Senator Andy Kim.
And now, please rise if you are able to for the national anthem performed by the concertmaster of the American Pops Orchestra and assistant concertmaster of the National Philharmonic at Strathmore, Regino Madrid.
Thank you so much, Regino, for that beautiful rendition of our national anthem. We also regret to tell you that Manu Ika Ika, who is going to perform the Hawaiian blessing for us tonight, could not be here because, of course, the crazy weather, so forgive him for that. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to the stage APAICS President and CEO, Madeline Milka.
Good evening, congressional members, distinguished guests, APAICS Board and Advisory Council members, and friends. I am Madeline Milka, President and CEO of APAICS, the Asian Pacific American Institute for Congressional Studies. And I'm honored to welcome you to our ceremonial swearing in for the Asian American and Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander members of Congress and members of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus for the 119th Congress. We are celebrating a historic number of ANHPI members who've been elected to Congress, 6 of whom are newly elected to their positions. Now, 25 leaders. Yes, that deserves an applause. And now we have 25 leaders who represent our community and their constituents from across the country, from CAPAC Chair Grace Meng in New York to Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland in Washington State, and Delegate Kimberlyn King-Hines, who is also the first female elected to represent the Northern Marianas Islands in Congress. This includes some stellar historic firsts. A record 12 ANHPI women serve as members of Congress. Senator Andy Kim is the first Korean American to serve as senator and is the first Asian American senator representing the state of New Jersey. Congressman Derek Tran is the first Vietnamese American to represent the country's largest concentrated Vietnamese population in Congress. Congressman Suat Sambaramrim is the first Indian American elected to Congress from Virginia. Congressman Salman Ansari is the first Iranian American Democrat elected to Congress and first Iranian American from Arizona. Our community has made huge strides toward parity and representation of the ANHPI community in elected office, with 3 Asian American senators and 22 ANHPI members in the House of Representatives. Their leadership encourages us to stay civically engaged and answer the call to lead in public service. I want to take a moment to recognize our MC for tonight's event, CBS News correspondent Chanel Call, Tepua Hio Polynesian Entertainment, the Mark H. Taiko Drummers, and Regino Madrid. We're also deeply honored to have House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries and House Vice Chair of the Democratic Caucus Ted Lieu to provide statements of occasion. And lastly, we thank Chief Judge Sri Srinivasan from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia for administrating the ceremonial oath of office. Chief Judge Srinivasan is the first Asian American to hold the role as Chief Judge for this court. This event would not be possible without our event partners, Wells Fargo, American Cancer Society, Cargill, Comcast, Delta, DoorDash, FedEx, AARP, Amgen, BP, Cencora, Business Roundtable, Google, Microsoft, Johnson & Johnson, McDonald's, and Southwest. We thank you for your continued support. APAICS's mission is to promote ANHPI participation and representation at all levels of the political process, and this would not be possible without the dedicated work from the APAICS staff, which deserves an applause, and the partnership we have with CAPAC and the ANHPI members of Congress. I'd like to thank CAPAC Chair Emerita Judy Chu and former CAPAC Executive Director Nisha Ramachandran for their long-standing partnership and support of APAICS. We welcome CAPAC Chair Grace Meng and CAPAC Executive Director Judith Taruya and look forward to continuing to be fierce advocates for our community. And APAICS is certainly proud to have Nisha and Judith as alumni of the APAICS Fellowship Program. Thank you for joining us for this special event, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the ceremony. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker. He is the Executive Vice President, Commercial Banking, Asian Segment Leader for Wells Fargo, Andrew Moy.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and it is truly an honor to be here, to be given this opportunity by APAICS to celebrate the largest class of AANHPI members in our country's history. So another round of applause for all of you. Also want to thank you, APAICS, for giving us the opportunity to share a bit about Wells Fargo's commitment to the AAPI community at large. But first, congratulations to all the new members of the 119th Congress, and especially to members of those who are representing AA and HPI communities across the country. I wish, along with Wells Fargo, you the greatest success in advancing the progress of our AA and HPI communities. And as well as all the Americans that you represent in Congress. I also want to just welcome the CAPAC's new chair, Representative Grace Meng, as well as give a warm, deep thank you to Representative Judy Chu. Thank you. So as an Asian American, a Chinese American, as well as Pacific Islander myself, I am very proud of Wells Fargo's history in the Asian American community, which goes all the way back to the 1850s, the gold rush era, where Chinese American customers first started doing business with us. So fast forward all the way to current day, myself, I've been with Wells Fargo for 32 years. I've led multiple businesses across the country and even globally throughout Asia and Europe. But it was 8 months ago where I was asked to step into my current role as Asian segment leader, where it is my mission to drive commercial banking's impact, to magnify our impact in the AA and HPI community across the entire country. It's because of our leadership all the way to the top, to our CEO, recognizes the significant importance of we supporting the AA and HPI community, as well as our business leaders that are a key driver of the growth of our economy in this country. So with all that being said, on behalf of Wells Fargo, I would like to say that we are deeply fortunate and thankful to be here tonight to celebrate this huge milestone with esteemed members of Congress, other government officials, civic leader, other civil rights leaders, as well as corporate leaders who all truly care about listening to and elevating our AA and HPI communities across the entire country. So again, thank you for your time, and congratulations again to all the new members of the 119th Congress. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now we are honored to be joined by House Democratic Leader representing the 8th Congressional District from the state of New York, Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
Thank you, Chanel. To Chair Emerita Judy Chu, to Chairwoman Grace Meng, to Vice Chair of the House Democratic Caucus, Ted Lieu, the highest ranking Asian American in American history in the United States House of Representatives. To the wonderful and amazing members of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, friends, colleagues, all those assembled, good evening. It's a high honor and a distinct privilege to join you on this special occasion as we begin the 119th Congress. First, I'm so thankful for the CAPAC family, for their brilliance, their resilience, their heart, their soul, their intellect, the commitment to serving the people that they so wonderfully represent throughout this great nation, their commitment to the Congress and to the Constitution. The House, of course, is the institution that the framers designed to be the closest to the American people, to reflect the hopes, the dreams, the aspirations, the fears, the concerns, the anxieties, as well as the passions of the people. The reason why we as House Democrats believe that no one does it the way that we're able to do it, and to reflect to the best of our ability the gorgeous mosaic of the American people, is because we reflect that gorgeous mosaic. And of course, an important part of that mosaic is the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander community that CAPAC so wonderfully represents. We're thankful for what CAPAC means to America, to the American journey, and to bringing to life the American dream in the most robust way possible. Let me, of course, express my appreciation to Chairwoman Judy Chu for her years of extraordinary service. Judy Chu is a living legend for all that she has done on behalf of the community. And we're so thankful for your work and for the incredibly high standard that you've set for leadership in the United States Congress. And of course, I want to congratulate my colleague, my friend, my classmate, my sister, Grace Meng, on her elevation to be CAPAC's chair. Grace and I have been on this journey together from the very beginning. We served in the New York State Assembly for 4 years and then arrived in the Congress on January 3rd of 2013 together. And I've got the opportunity to see Grace in action back at home in New York City, up in Albany in the state legislature, now in the nation's capital, and know that your leadership, your ability, your commitment, your work ethic is going to serve CAPAC, the Congress, and the country extraordinarily well. Let me also congratulate, finally, all of the members who are here, this historically robust group of members, and also to congratulate Dave and Derek and Suhas on your wonderful victories in coming to the Congress. I'm inspired by all that my colleagues represent, inspired by the partnership and support that all of you provide to us as we endeavor to lead for such a time as this. And as I close, let me just make clear that we're going to fight hard, of course, for the things that matter, for our values. We'll seek bipartisan common ground with our Republican colleagues on any issue, whenever and wherever possible, to make a difference in the lives of the communities that we're privileged to represent. But of course, led by CAPAC, we will also push back against far-right extremism whenever necessary. That means calling out and stamping out anti-Asian hate and xenophobia wherever it is found in the United States of America. Because our view is that an attack on your community is an attack on all of us, and we will stand with you always and forever in that regard. Thank you for your extraordinary leadership. Congratulations on this inauguration. God bless you, God bless CAPAC, and may God always bless the United States of America.
Thank you so much, Leader Jeffries. Now, please welcome to the stage, representing the 36th Congressional District from the state of California, and the Vice Chair of the Democratic Caucus, which, as Leader Jeffries had mentioned, now makes him the highest-ranking AANHPI member, Vice Chair Ted Lieu.
Thank you. Last Friday, when we were sworn in, a member of Congress who shall remain unnamed came up to me and congratulated me on being elected to the United States Senate. So I decided to not correct this person because I want people to think Andy Kim is everywhere. So let me start off by thanking Leader Hakeem Jeffries for coming today. Hakeem represents one of the most diverse districts in Congress. He instinctively understands that diversity is our strength. He has always been very supportive of the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander communities and of CAPAC and our members. And so thank you, Leader Jeffries, for your leadership. Last term, under leadership of Chairwoman Judy Chu of CAPAC and Chairwoman Grace Meng of Aspire PAC, in November elections, in a very difficult national environment, CAPAC expanded our membership. And we're so excited to have the highest number of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander members of Congress in U.S. history, and our new members of Dave Min, Derek Tran, Suhas Subramaniam, and Yasmin Ansari. And we look forward to expanding CAPAC even more this term. And we look forward to working with Grace Meng as our new chair of CAPAC. None of this could have happened without the support of all of you and of our existing CAPAC members and of organizations like APAICS, with your leader, Madeline, doing terrific work, and the support from both the public and private sector. Thank you, Wells Fargo, for being the title sponsor. And let me conclude on some good data. As some of you may know, the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander communities are the fastest rising ethnic group in America. The last 2 U.S. Census reports show that the community has more than doubled in size since 2000. A Pew Research report a couple of years ago reports that by 2055, Asian Americans will become the largest immigrant group. So I look forward to working with all of you and with the public and private sector and CAPAC members to make America an even better place to live, work, and play. Thank you.
Next, I want to introduce Chief Judge Sri Srinivasan from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia, who will be here to administer the ceremonial oath of office.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And I and all members of the judiciary are deeply respectful of and appreciative of the service of all members of the coordinate branches, including your service on behalf of the bodies you collectively represent. Thank you for welcoming me here. And I'll proceed to administer the ceremonial oath of office. And when prompted to do so, I'll ask you to state your name. And if you could please rise, turn towards me, raise your right hand, and please repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations.
Now, I'm thrilled to welcome to the stage APAICS's new board chair, Jason Chan.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to join all of you tonight as we mark an important moment for our community, our country, and our future. Let me begin by expressing my heartfelt gratitude to Congresswoman Judy Chu, our Chair Emerita for extraordinary leadership of CAPAC. Congresswoman, if you could please stand and be recognized. Your steadfast commitment to our community has paved the way for the progress we celebrate tonight, and your work has left an indelible mark, and we are profoundly grateful for your service, so thank you. I also want to take a moment to thank Susan Jen Davis, who could not be here tonight. For 9 years, Susan led APAICS as chair, steering this organization with vision and determination. She has been more than just a leader. She's been a source of inspiration, a mentor, and a builder of dreams, and her impact will be felt for generations to come. And of course, a big thank you to our phenomenal president and CEO, Madeline Milka. Madeline, your dedication and leadership has taken APAICS to new heights, and tonight is a reflection of all of your hard work. I also want to extend my gratitude to the APAICS Board of Directors, who's here tonight, for your steadfast support and guidance and commitment to our mission. Your collective efforts have been instrumental in shaping the success we are celebrating this evening. Tonight, we gather to celebrate progress. But let's not forget that progress doesn't come without courage. Every one of the leaders we honor here tonight has demonstrated that courage, the courage to step up when others sat back, the courage to represent a community that hasn't always had a seat at the table, the courage to speak even when the world wasn't ready to listen. And stepping into leadership, stepping into public service is really an act of vulnerability. It means putting yourself out there, knowing that criticism will come, but showing up anyway, because something bigger is at stake. And that is the kind of leadership that we need. Leadership that isn't afraid to be seen, leadership that doesn't back down when the going gets tough. We're here because leaders like Secretary Norman Mineta had the courage to imagine something bold, a future where Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders are not only present, but leading. But imagining isn't enough. We have to act and we have to build. And while we've made some real progress, there's still work to do. There are still too many spaces where our voices aren't heard, too many opportunities yet to be realized. Because progress happens when we show up, speak out, and refuse to let fear hold us back. So tonight, as we welcome the CAPAC members of the 119th Congress, let's recommit, not only to building a stronger political pipeline, but to creating a culture of connection and belonging. Because representation isn't just about numbers. It's about what happens when we bring our whole selves into these spaces. It's about leading with authenticity, and it's about lifting as we climb. And as we celebrate tonight, let's also reflect on what comes next. Each of us in this room has the power to make an impact, whether it's mentoring a future leader, advocating for policies that strengthen our communities, or simply showing up when it matters most. Progress happens when we choose to lead with courage, compassion, and conviction. Together, we can build a future where everyone, regardless of background, has the opportunity to serve, lead, and thrive. So let us honor the past by imagining what's possible and taking action to create it. Now, it is my distinct honor to introduce someone who embodies that courage, hope, and possibility, a trailblazer, an advocate, and a tireless champion for our community. Congresswoman Grace Meng has spent her career breaking barriers and fighting for what's right. From her early days in public service to becoming the first Asian American member of Congress from New York, she has been a fierce voice for justice, equity, and inclusion. And tonight, we are proud to welcome her as the new chair of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus. And under her leadership, I have no doubt that CAPAC will continue to grow in strength, influence, and impact. So, Congresswoman Meng, we are so inspired by your leadership, grateful for your service, and excited for what's to come. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Chairwoman Grace Meng.
Thank you, Jason. Jason is, if you don't know him, really one of those people that wakes up every single day and thinks about how to bring together our community and make us even more effective every single day. Thank you so much to Madeline and the whole team at APAICS for putting together this wonderful, beautiful event. We're so honored to be here with so many people who, as was said before, all this would not be possible without all of your hard work and efforts. Thank you to our Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries, someone who is a historic trailblazer in his own right, and it is under his leadership that the House Democratic Caucus grew in a tough cycle this past election and elected the largest CAPAC membership in American history. Thank you, Hakeem. Thank you to our Vice Chair, Ted Lieu. Every time I say his title and name, it brings a smile to my face because he is the highest ranking Asian American we've ever had in our Democratic caucus in our congressional history. And as funny as his story was about Senator Kim, I don't think he's the only one that's been mistaken for Andy Kim. I know there are other members because they've shared their stories in recent weeks as well. Right, Mark? It's true, I'm not making it up. You can ask Mark. To Chief Judge Srinivasan, we are all collectively so proud of you and have followed your career for such a long time. And it was very meaningful that you were here to swear us in tonight. And lest all of you think that Asians are only good at math, I could barely follow that oath broken down into bite-sized segments. And Judge Srinivasan actually did that by heart. I don't know if you knew that. He recited that whole oath by heart. And of course, to our, I like living legend, Judy. Our living legend, our chair emerita, Judy Chu. Let's give her another round of applause. In 2013, when I was the first Asian American from New York to be elected to Congress, I never thought that our CAPAC membership would grow to be this large in such a short time. But the growth of CAPAC over the years is a true testament to the leadership and dedication of Congresswoman Chu. Thank you, Judy, for your service to CAPAC, for often taking on your petite shoulders the burdens of our community at large, not just here in DC, but across the country. Thank you for your leadership and mentorship to so many. I'm so proud of how CAPAC has grown and of the milestones that we are marking tonight. For example, we have the most South Asians ever elected to Congress serving in the 119th. And we are all incredibly proud of our very own, the one and only Senator Andy Kim. First ever Korean American elected to the Senate. From New York to California, New Jersey to Hawaii, and states in between, from Arizona, Washington, Michigan, Texas, and Virginia, CAPAC members represent the most urban to the most rural districts. We ourselves were healthcare workers, small business owners, veterans, elected officials, lawyers, educators, activists, and so much more. The diversity of CAPAC's membership is as wide and varied as the communities that we all serve. Yet we are united in our dedication to improving the lives of Americans and ensuring that our communities are seen, heard, and valued by all levels of government, in media and the arts and academia, in all sectors of the economy and beyond. It is up to us, this moment, to use this moment, these victories, these spaces, to ensure that as we climb the ladder of success, we are reaching behind us to pull someone up with us, as our APAICS co-founder, the great Norman Mineta, used to say. So even as we commemorate historic highs, we know that there is still so much work ahead. We must work to build the pipeline of AA-NHPIs entering public service at all levels of government. We must work to coalesce around the values and the issues that are central to our community's well-being. I know that some of us may feel fearful about the agenda of the new Congress and the incoming president. We have seen the impact of an agenda that dehumanizes people and disregards the consequences of its actions. And we all know too well how deadly, literally, this type of agenda is. I want to assure you as CAPAC chair, I'm committed to continuing to fight in the 119th Congress for all of our communities, all of our civil rights, and our future. And I'm asking all of you to stay in the fight with me. In the 119th Congress, I will work hand in hand with our CAPAC members and our congressional leadership to ensure that our voices are heard at the decision-making table. And I will extend a hand across the aisle to anyone who will join us in our work to secure a better future for all Americans and not to hurt our communities. I want to thank my colleagues in Congress for your support and trust. I look forward to working with you all, as well as our community leaders, to make our voices heard and deliver for AA-NHPI communities all over the United States, and to remind everyone that Asian Americans are just as American as anyone else. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman Meng, and congratulations again on your election as chair. It's been such an honor to be with you all tonight. It was a little bit of a spicy commute for me from New York to DC today, but I'm so happy that I could be here. It's been incredible to hear all of these stories of so many firsts at this level, and to see this kind of representation and this kind of leadership is truly so inspiring. So thank you to all of you for your leadership and for your work. To close tonight's ceremony, I want to welcome back Madeline Milka.
Thank you, Chanel, for braving the snow and joining us this evening. Let's give her another round of applause for being such an amazing MC. We'd like to thank our event partners, the APAICS Board of Directors and Advisory Council members, the many volunteers, and the incredible APAICS staff for all they've done tonight. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we hope you have a safe trip back home. Thank you so much.